The numerous successes of the Ukrainian counteroffensive bring the prospect of an end to the war closer. However, Kyiv believes that even after the conflict has ended successfully, Ukraine will still be an easy target for potential aggressors. We are creating a system that guarantees Ukraine's military security. This will be possible under the upcoming treaties. We are working to ensure that the most powerful entities in the free world become jointly responsible for our security. The most important thing is to define the legal steps that oblige both parties to act in a concrete and timely manner. This will cool down all hostile intentions of our enemies. Ukrainian forces effectively prevent Russian troops from repairing the Kharkiv bridge over the Dnieper River. Ukrainian soldiers destroyed another Russian pontoon crossing near the town of Darivka. Kyiv is disappointed with Berlin's sluggish attitude in delivering announced military supplies. Disappointing signals from Germany, while Ukraine needs leopards and martyrs now to liberate people and save them from genocide. Not a single rational argument on why these weapons cannot be supplied, only abstract fears and excuses. What is Berlin afraid of that Kyiv is not? In Balaklia, after the expulsion of Russian forces, aid was provided to the injured civilians. Yesterday, local authorities reported that people were tortured and detained in the city. During the conflict, Russian forces have repeatedly broken international law, and this time the Russian army has violated the provisions of the Declaration of Human Rights. The Russians stripped my husband down to his underwear. This was how they exposed the men here in the street. They looked for scars and tattoos because they wanted to check if anyone served in the army. Even if they did not find proof, they took these people. They led me to a prison cell and electrocuted me. They wanted to make me report my friends. The European Union is responding decisively to the numerous war crimes committed by the Russian army against the Ukrainian civilian population. The head of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, said that the Russian financial sector, under the pressure of sanctions, is barely panting, and admitted that Central and Eastern European countries, including Poland, had been warning about Vladimir Putin's intentions for years.
And I stand here with the conviction that with the necessary courage and with the necessary solidarity, Putin will fail, remain unshakable. From day one on, Europe has stood at Ukraine's side with weapons, with funds, with hospitalities for refugees, and with the toughest sanctions the world has ever seen.
For the first time since the beginning of the invasion of Ukraine, the Kremlin admitted to its military defeat. Moscow is trying to clear Putin of responsibility for the failures in the Kharkiv region. Meanwhile, in Russia, there are more and more voices criticizing the highest authorities. Last week, a group of deputies from the St. Petersburg Council called on the State Duma to charge Vladimir Putin with high treason. The main goal of the authorities at the moment is to show that the members of the council have been punished, but on the other hand, they do not want to give our case too much publicity. The West is also responding to the reports of the growing number of political opponents of Vladimir Putin.
Say before it started, calls it a special military operation. It's a war. And he hasn't been honest with his own people about what he's doing there, why he's doing it, and what he's doing it with. And he certainly hasn't been honest with the Russian people about the struggles that the Russian military have had in the conduct of this war, to include casualties and losses of equipment and systems.
Russian troops are withdrawing from the Kharkiv region. According to the data of the General Staff of Ukraine, during the retreat, the Russians steal private cars and rob the residents' property. However, according to experts, it is too early to be happy about the successes at the moment. It is not that the Russians gave up further defense. This is only an operational success, but strategically they are still able to defend themselves effectively. The Ukrainian media reported that representatives of the Kremlin have approached the Ukrainian authorities with a proposal to start negotiations. However, Kyiv is not ready for this, and talks may only be resumed once the assumed military goals have been achieved.